What do Falcons do? Rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the lifelong sports fan, and the Golden Hard Dog, coming back to you today with the picks for Week 5 of the NFL. Now, so far, overall, I am 41-23. Last week was pretty rough for me. Thank God for the afternoon games. Ended up going 9-7. It looked like I wasn't going to win a single game there for a while, as I picked, I think, the first 4 wrong last week. But finally ended up turning around, ended up going over 500. Still, I think that's a pretty bad week overall to go 9-7. It just basically means I was slightly better than a coin flip. Going to try to redeem myself this week, and we open up right out the gate with the Chicago Bears going to the Washington Commies. Now, Washington Commies played a good competitive game against the Philadelphia Eagles, took them into overtime, and Sam Howell looked like a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL. He has a ton of weapons around him, and that defense can be suffocating, though they did end up giving up a ton of points last week. Their corner, I think his name's Forbes. I believe he's the guy they took in the first round from, I believe it was Mississippi. Still not looking great yet, but I think that was just because of what they had him doing in that last game. So, again, they could be doing a little bit better, but Bieniemy has that team running on all cylinders. And then you have the Chicago Bears, who are playing for the number 1 overall pick. They are still a very bad team, losing after being up 28-7, finding a way not to score a single point the rest of the game. And it was a tale of two halves. Justin Fields just absolutely terrible after the first half of that game. Couldn't find the end zone, couldn't do anything to save his life. Did end up giving DJ Moore a great game in the first half, but anyways, it ended up being a 31-28 comeback by the Denver Broncos, who again are also not a particularly good team, though Russ is no longer the problem there. So I don't know. I can't pick the Chicago Bears with any confidence for the foreseeable future going forward. So I'm going to pick the Washington Commies. I should mention, we do have 4 teams on bye, so there are only 14 games to pick. So hopefully this will go a little bit faster. Then we go to the next London game, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Buffalo Bills. Jacksonville getting a pretty good win over the Falcons. Now, our Falcons defense did do very well, except for that one touchdown. And you know which one it was? It was the opener where basically, I think it was Bates and Terrell did not have good communication on who was supposed to be covering a wide open receiver and wide open Calvin Ridley. So it just looked like a broken coverage play and just looked like we weren't on the same page. We tightened down after that, and again, we allowed 16 offensive points. There was a pick 6 in the game. So 16 offensive points against this team is pretty good. And again, I would say 13 of those were legitimate. That last 3 points was just whatever. The game was already out of reach at that point. So with that said, the Buffalo Bills look like a team that's just doing everything right at this moment. They have finally figured out that run game, having a committee, but a good committee, and with James Cook leading that backfield. But again, they're no longer leaning on Josh Allen to run 10 times in a game. He has not run more than 5 times in a game this entire season. So I do look for the Buffalo Bills to win this game. I just think they're doing really well. It would not shock me if the Jaguars found a way to win. Right now, 95% of Americans are picking Buffalo, 5% are picking the Jags. But give me the Buffalo Bills. Then we're going to go to the Houston Texans at the Atlanta Falcons. This is going to be, what is Desmond Ridder doing? Is he learning from his mistakes? Does he tighten down? Does he figure out what he's got to do? Because this Houston defense is not going to be as good as Jacksonville. It's not going to be as good as some of the ones he's gone up against so far. I think this is a team that is definitely beatable, but C.J. Stroud is playing lights out right now. We have to find a way to do to him what we did to Bryce Young in the first week of the season and make him look like a rookie. He has not done that so far, and if we can't do that, we're not going to win. America is picking Houston. I fully understand why they're picking Houston. Give me my Dirty Birds, though, here. Let's go Falcons. Let's rise up. Let's stay above 500. This is a game that we really need to win. When we were looking at the schedule, this is one that we circled as an easier game that we need to win. If we lose this game, this could be a bad omen for the future and definitely will be a nail in the Ridder coffin for Desmond Ridder going forward, especially if he's the one who causes us not to win. But give me the Falcons here. Then we go to Carolina Panthers at Detroit Lions. Carolina playing terrible. Detroit Lions playing great, looking like an amazing team. Shut the heck out of the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay this past week on Thursday Night Football. They have a 10-day rest. Carolina Panthers still beat up, not looking good. Give me the Detroit Lions here. The Blue Kitties of the North are going to kill the Blue Kitties of the South. So, yeah, Blue Kitties go me out of the North, Detroit Lions. Then we go to the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. My God, is Tennessee good? That's the question. Is Tennessee any good? They just shut out the Bengals. I get, shut out means 0. They only allowed 3 points. Who cares? They basically shut out the Bengals. Now, Joe Burrow does not look healthy. He does not look like the guy he's supposed to be, but they still have talent on that offense, and he just shut them down. Derrick Henry, looking like a return to form, had a passing touchdown in this game, of all things. And then you go to the Indianapolis Colts, who are rocking behind Anthony Richardson, who look very happy to have him, and another quarterback, another rookie, who is looking like a solid starter when he's not hurt. This is in Indianapolis. This is truly a 50-50 game. It could go either way, and I truly feel that it could go either way. But I am going to take Indianapolis just because I have more faith in their coaching staff and their offense than I do with the Tennessee Titans right now. It could be a slugfest. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game than a lot of us give credit for. This could be one of those like 30 points by each team game, or even a game that goes into overtime. But give me the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. It will be very close, and I could very easily be swayed to go with the Tennessee Titans. Then we're going to go to the hapless New York Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Miami initially going pound for pound with Buffalo for the first 5 total drives, and then in that 6th drive they just sputtered out, and it was all downhill from there for Miami. Looking, still a great team, still a team that's going to be playing in January and possibly into February. But again, they have some things that they need to work on. They got exposed a little bit at Buffalo. But New York is just a team that can't do anything. Daniel Jones got sacked 11 times last week. Their offensive line is terrible. We still don't think Saquon Barkley is going to be back, so he's not going to be there. Their entire offense runs through Saquon. This is going to be a bloodbath. If you want to potentially do well, I cannot guarantee that you're going to do well on Daily Pick'ems if you take Miami Dolphins players, but I am wink, wink, nod, nod, hint, hint, going to be, if I'm doing that, taking Dolphins players to go over whatever the heck their projected totals are going to be. I will be smashing that myself. You do what you want. I cannot tell you what to do with your money. Give me Miami Dolphins. 98% of America agrees with me. I think the 2% that are picking the Giants are based out of New York. Then we're going to go to the New Orleans Saints at the New England Patriots. This is a tale of 2 terrible offenses and 2 halfway decent defenses. The Saints don't look good right now. The New England Patriots are looking like a kind of garbage team as well from an offensive standpoint. Mac Jones looks like a backup, which is what a lot of people have been saying that he was since last year. He just didn't look good last year. He looked okay his first year, and he's kind of looking more like he did last year. Mac Jones doesn't have a receiver really to throw to either. You can say Kendrick Bourne, you can say Juju Smith-Schuster, but he really doesn't have a lot of help around him. And this is the first time in a long time that the Patriots' run game has not been good. So I have a hard time picking the Patriots, but then I also have a hard time picking the Saints because they have a lot of offensive weapons, but Derek Carr just isn't looking like the guy right now. He did start this past week. It looks like that shoulder injury was not as severe as we thought it was, though they did not play particularly well against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Defensively, they were okay, but again, gave up, I think, 21 points maybe? I don't remember the score of that game. I just know that by the end of it, it looked like the offense for the Saints had not shown up. With that said, I think New England could easily lose this game in New England. Now, and I think the Saints could easily lose as well. It's basically which team do I think is going to suck a little bit more. And because I don't think this is going to be a particularly good game. But because of the offensive weapons and because I put their defenses at more or less the same level, I'm going to take the Saints. I don't like it, but I'm going to take them. I initially had the New England Patriots because it's in Foxborough, but I'm going to take the Saints here. Then we go to the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh offense, my God, Matt Canada, y'all need to get rid of him yesterday. He is bad for you. And your defense did not look particularly good this past week either, again, against a rookie quarterback. Houston embarrassed you guys. And they found a way to shut down TJ Watt, and it just really was not particularly close. Because your offense is sputtering, even though it's at home, this, again, I thought y'all would be better this year. This is a year that y'all certainly could finally break that Tomlin 500 streak. Baltimore is not the healthiest team in the world, but they are finding ways to win. And Lamar Jackson is, again, former MVP and still playing at a very high level overall, even though he's having to run the ball, or he's having to basically be the lead rusher for the team. He's still finding creative ways to move the ball downfield. And I'm going to go with my old Bulldog offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, and say that the Baltimore Ravens pull it out. So Baltimore is going to go 4-1, and Pittsburgh's going to be 2-3 at the end of this one. Give me the Ravens. Then we have our first 4 o'clock match of the day. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Rams. This is a game that I think is really going to test the Eagles. I do have them winning this game, but just because I think from head to toe they're a better team, but they're going against the Rams, who have surprised the heck out of me. They are not the team that we thought they were going into this year. They are better. Stafford looks like he is finally healed off of that elbow injury, and Puka Nacua is just this wonderful, late round rookie story that has captivated America. And again, they look very good. Offensively, they look good. You got Kyron Williams, who's come out of nowhere to be the lead back for them after they traded Cam Akers. But the Philadelphia Eagles have the same story with DeAndre Swift, who they traded for in the offseason. So, given the talent on the Eagles overall, I am going to take the Eagles. America thinks it's 88-12 in terms of percentages for Eagles. I think that is a bad take on this. I think this should be probably a 60-40 for the Eagles. It would not shock me if the Rams won this game outright, just because of how well the Rams are playing. But again, the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they have enough talent to overcome that, and I think they are the better team on paper. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Then we go to the Cincinnati Bengals at the Arizona Cardinals. This is my hot take of the week. Arizona Cardinals continue to impress us, even though they're not winning a ton of games. They're only 1-3. And that one being against the Dallas Cowboys, they're continuing to impress us, though. They're continuing to show that they are a team that is not willing to die. And then you have the Bengals, who cannot score. They just can't score. Something is wrong with Burrow right now. And I don't think it's going to get better this week. I think he needs to sit for a few weeks and get better. I think he's hurting the team by being out there. And I don't know that they would do better with a backup quarterback, but they're definitely not doing it with the future of their franchise. And they are putting him at risk every single time they put him out there. So this is my hot take. I think the Arizona Cardinals in Glendale, Arizona, are going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that's going to upset a lot of Bengals fans, and I am in the minority here. 1/3 of America is picking the Cardinals, and 2/3 are picking the Bengals. I'm going to go with that 1/3 and say that Josh Dobbs, James Conner, and a mishmash of weird talent find a way to beat what should on paper be a better team in the Bengals. So yeah, give me the Cardinals here. Then we go to the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. Denver, your defense is not playing to its potential. It has not been as good as it's supposed to be, as it has been for like the last decade. With that said, Russell Wilson is not your problem. You fixed Russ. I give you whole credit for that. You fixed Russ. He and Cortland Sutton have something special. Jerry Jeudy, I don't know why he's not stepping up to the plate, but Cortland Sutton has something special with when he's not fumbling the ball with old Russell Wilson. The Jets, again, they played better than I anticipated. Zach Wilson played a very, very good game. First very good game I could say I've seen from him in a while. And you could argue that they got screwed by the refs against the Chiefs and probably should have won that game, or at least had a chance to win or tie the game late. But again, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. They're not going to, whatever it is, the script writers are not going to allow for Taylor Swift to watch her boy lose to the New York Jets. Just ain't going to happen. I think you got rep-balled. America thinks you got rep-balled, except for in Kansas City, where they think it went exactly as it was supposed to. Missed holding call, bunch of stuff that did not go your way in that one. With that said, I do think it's a return to mediocrity this week, and I think you're going to lose to the Denver Broncos. Denver, this is going to be one of the games that you need to win. If you do not win this game, it is a bad year, and you are still in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes if it doesn't happen. This is a game that you must win to stay competitive. You're not completely out of the playoffs yet, but very likely you're going to be out of it soon if you lose this game. And then we go on to the Kansas City Chiefs at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota finally getting a win. looking terrible doing it, but finally getting a win over a bad Carolina Panthers team. Thank you for beating them, by the way. We appreciate it. We don't know if Kirk Cousins is going to remain your quarterback for the rest of the year. There's talk of trading to him. Falcons probably would happily take him if the price was right, like a 5th or 4th round pick. Would not pay more than that for him. But yeah, somebody that we could certainly be looking at there. But the Kansas City Chiefs, after almost getting embarrassed by the New York Jets, I don't think they're going to lose this game. I think they're going to come out firing on all cylinders. It should be an offensive shootout to some degree. I think it could be another game where Kirk Cousins has 3 or 4 passing touchdowns. But I think Kansas City is going to do enough to win this game. So give me Kansas City. 91% of America agrees with me. Then, this is another hot take. Dallas at the San Francisco 49ers for Sunday Night Football. Man, everything in me says pick CMC and pick the San Francisco 49ers. 83% of America is doing that. I do not want to jump on the Dallas Cowboys America's team train, but I do think that Dallas is going to win this game. I just have a gut feeling in my soul that they are going to hand the 49ers their first loss of the season, and then they're going to get an overinflated ego, and then they're going to lose next week. I don't even know who they play next week, but they're going to do something amazing, win this week, and then they're going to get blown out by some team they have no business getting blown out by next week. That's just the way the Dallas Cowboys have operated for like the last 25 years. So with that said, give me the Dallas Cowboys. I think they win this game. I think it's going to be incredibly close. This will be a hell of a matchup, and I am looking forward to watching this one. But give me the Cowboys here. It would not shock me. In fact, I predict actually that the 49ers are going to win this game, but I do give me an upset here. I need to go against the grain and give me the Cowboys. Finally, we have Monday Night Football. This is going to be a little bit of a snooze fest. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Las Vegas Raiders. Green Bay not looking particularly good in the first half last week. Tale of two halves. They came out and looked better in the third quarter last week, but again, it was too little too late, and they still allowed a bunch of points by the Lions in the second half, so it didn't even matter. It was still a 14-point blowout loss to them at Green Bay. Then you have the Raiders, who Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't look good. I feel bad for Davante Adams, and this is a take that is not new. This is something that Tom Grassi has said as well. Davante Adams went to the Raiders so that he could play with his friend Derek Carr, the guy that he went to college with, the guy who made him look good in college. And again, they cut him a year later. They basically cut Derek Carr a year later. Now he's just on a team that he doesn't really care about playing for, but he still is making money, so he still has to show up and play. And he did do that very well last week, but I don't think it matters this week. It is a revenge game for Davante Adams, and I think he has a big day, but I think ultimately the Green Bay Packers are going to find a way to win this one with a overall healthier team. Now, if the Raiders win this game, it's going to be because their pass rush is amazing and because the left side of the offensive line for the Packers is still hurt or out for the season. David Bakhtiari being out is a major, major blow for the Packers. It is the reason that Jordan Love looked like he had no time last week, because he didn't, because they were attacking that left side of the line the entire freaking night. And Jordan Love just had no time to do anything. If the Raiders are going to win, that's how they're going to win. It would not shock me for them to win in Las Vegas. But again, I'm also just going to say, let me go ahead and pick the Green Bay Packers. But that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry it took so long. Ended up doing a little more analysis than I thought I would on all these teams. Thank you so much. I have 182 subscribers now. It means the world to me. I don't know why you guys choose to follow me. I feel like I'm just some goober talking about sports and don't have a reason to have you guys follow me, but thank you so much to the ones of you who have done so far. I am trying to get to 500 by the end of this season, and slowly but steadily making our way there. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And as always, rise up.